mind scooching over? You're sitting in my seat.
I look like a kiddo to you?
Everybody looks like a kiddo to me. I'm Emma.
Tess.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Dolores Chapin presiding.
That's Monica, Judge Chapin's clerk. Been here for only 3 days. She's cute, seems like a hard worker, but, well, we'll see how she works out.
You're awfully familiar with this court. What are you, a career criminal?
Something worse, a career mother. Judge Chapin is my daughter. So what are you in here for?
I just like to see justice in action.
Well, you have come to the right place. Dory is the best.
Court will come to order. The problem with this job is that I only get to see the end of things, not the beginning or the middle. Maybe that's why I can see the bigger picture through all your talk of incompatibility. As my mother always says, that's a nice long legal term for something as simple as forgetting how to talk. Life gets so busy, we forget to check how the person across from the microwave pancakes is feeling. We don't ask how the meeting with the boss went yesterday. Or maybe you're tired of seafood because you had it for lunch that day. No sounds louder than yes. And it's easier just to say nothing rather than explain yourself. So Karen, Tom, I want you to do me a favor. Go out on a date. Maybe 3. Talk to each other. Now, you and I both know that I can't legally make you do that. But I would hope that when you come back here, if you come back here, well, maybe you'll see a different picture. I'm postponing my judgment for 2 weeks. We're adjourned.
All rise.
What did I tell you?
Well, she's certainly her mother's daughter.
Hi, Emma. How are you today?
Hi, kiddo. I couldn't be better if I was twins. This is Tess. She's new. Not a looky-loo. Would you tell my daughter I'm getting some coffee, and I've got some papers for her to sign?
Will do. She always likes to get her coffee from the jury waiting room. None of the others quite fills a full cup.
Well, I hope you've got some better information than that, Miss Wings.
I do. Emma comes to court at least once a week, and she usually has something for her daughter to sign or approve. Sort of a Mom Friday. But between you and me, I think she likes to come for the sheer joy of watching her daughter be a judge. They're very close.
Do you think maybe they're too close?
Well, they're a bit dependent. Somewhat symbiotic. Connected in a very special way.
Those two have the apron strings twisted so you don't know who's holding on to who.
So I guess what you're saying is, snip, snip, bye-bye, apron strings.
But it's a very complicated operation because the father wants both patients to survive. When you walk down the road, heavy burden, heavy load, I will rise and I will walk with you. I'll walk with you till the sun don't even shine. Walk with you every time I tell you I'll walk with you. Believe me, I'll walk with you.
Interesting strategy with that last couple, sweetheart. I saw your father give the same advice once.
I know. It was your idea that I do that, remember? Last week at dinner, more talk, less litigation.
That's right. I forgot.
Of course, it was also your suggestion that I could save my marriage that way.
And that would have worked, too, if Bill hadn't been all chest and no heart.
But what a chest. I had different priorities then. So, what have you got for me, huh?
This is just car work here.
Yeah.
I renewed your membership in the auto club. We don't want you stranded in that fancy car of yours.
Why not? You changed the tire the last time.
Well, every woman has to be independent, darling, but not stupid. And your automobile insurance is due on Friday, so initial this change there, and then I'll mail it.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your Honor. There's someone here from the governor's office to see you.
The governor's office? Must be charity fundraising time. Send him in.
You want me to wait outside?
Yeah, would you? As if I could keep anything secret from you.
Hello. Judge Chapin.
Yes,
It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
thank you.
I'm Andrew, and I bet you are Emma.
I bet you're right. Now, why do you know me?
Well, you're something of a legend around here, as was your husband.
Ah, thank you. He was a lovely man.
What can I do for you, Andrew?
Well, as you may know, the governor is considering candidates for the open seat on the state Supreme Court. And he's narrowed his list down to you.
Me. On the state Supreme Court.
We'll take it.
We'll think about it. My mother, in her more rational moments, always taught me to consider everything fully before answering.
Actually, that was more of her father's philosophy. I'm more of a fly by the seat of your pants kind of a gal.
Well, Your Honor, you are the governor's first choice, but he is going to need an answer pretty soon.
I'll get him one. Thank you.
Pleasure.
So, who's next?
Are you wearing any clothes under that robe?
Yes, I am. Okay. Yes, dear.
How many ladies are judges?
Well, as I always tell my daughter Jenny, not enough. There's still not enough lady doctors or lady lawyers or lady Indian chiefs, for that matter. It's good for women to do things that their mothers couldn't do.
If ladies never did this, how'd you know you could?
Remember the rhyme about Jack and Jill going up the hill? Well, my father was a district court judge. And my mother, who was sitting in the back of the room, she always said, if Jack can do it, Jill can do it. And she's living proof of that. Not only was she a math teacher, she was also a WASP in the Second World War.
You were a bug?
No, I was a pilot. In fact, I was a commander in the Women's Air Force Service Pilots. You see, that's WASP. And our motto was, we live in the wind and the sand, but our eyes are always on the stars.
Girls don't fly in wars. They do too.
They do now. But back in World War II, it was very unusual. Maybe if we sit quietly, Jenny's grandmother will explain to us why they needed women pilots then.
Sure. See, the Army needed to free up the men to go and fight in Europe. We flew the planes from the factories where they were made to the bases where the men took them on missions.
You did? Top secret missions?
Sometimes.
Did you fly any top secret missions, Grandma?
If I tell you, they won't be secret anymore.
I'm really sorry. We're out of time. Let's all thank Jenny's mom and grandma for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you. Hey, I've got to rush back to court. How do you guys feel about walking home?
Can we, Grandma? We hardly ever get a walk anymore.
Sure, kiddo. As a matter of fact, Dory, I want you all to come to my house for dinner. I've invited Tess and Monica. We are celebrating.
We'll see. We've got to talk about that, but dinner sounds great. I'll see you at Grandma's house at 6 o'clock, huh? Okay, bye, baby.
Bye-bye, Dory. This doesn't look like...
Doesn't look like what? What's wrong?
Well, Grandma's getting tired.
We've never walked this way to your house before.
Well, think of it as an adventure.
We're right back where we started.
Oh?
Maybe we should call Mom.
No. We can take care of ourselves.
I think we're lost.
eyes are always on the stars.
If this isn't a surprise party, I'm going to be very unhappy. Mom! Jenny!
Didn't Emma know we were coming?
She invited us all to dinner, didn't she?
Yes.
She should have been home hours ago. Nothing's been started. They definitely haven't been here.
I'm sure that Emma and Jenny are just fine.
Of course they're fine. They have to be fine. The question is, where are they fine?
I hope I'm not too early. I came to help your mother in the kitchen.
You're Tess.
Yes.
Oh, do you know where my mother is?
Isn't she here?
No, she's not. Look, I am going to take a drive from here down to Jenny's school. I'm sorry, Tess. It doesn't look like we're going to have dinner.
Sure we are. I'll just go and get it started. Those two will be home before you know it, and they'll be hungry. Kitchen's right over here, huh?
Yes, it is. You know, there's something about that woman. Are you sure you checked her out?
Oh, yes. Her record is spotless. Her reputation beyond reproach. She's the kind of person that puts the sun in Sundays.
Yeah, well, her mother and little girl aren't missing.
Mommy! Mommy!
Jenny, where have you been? You had me scared to death.
Andrew, everything okay?
Yes. I found them sitting on a bench, and I just gave them a lift home.
Well, that's very kind of you. What were you doing sitting on a bench?
We got lost.
We weren't lost. We just lost track of time.
How do you lose track of 5 hours? You really had me worried, Mother.
Oh, come on. I know how to take care of myself, daughter.
Everything's fine in here. No problem.
Who's that?
Tess.
Tess. Tess!
Well, I gotta get going. But, Emma, I will take a rain check on that meatloaf.
Andrew?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's no problem.
I'd better go help Tess.
Honey, you better go do your homework. That woman cannot go from A to B without stopping somewhere in between.
So you don't think she got lost then?
My mother, are you kidding?
You need help with that, Emma? Did I salt these potatoes? You want me to taste test it?
No. Why is everything a test these days? This afternoon, please don't say anything to Dory about this. But I just suddenly couldn't find my way back to a home that I have lived in for 40 years. A home that my husband and I bought in our salad days, and we were going to keep for our golden years together. But he didn't get as many as I did. And these days don't feel so golden.
Emma, why don't you just tell Dory what's happening? There's nothing wrong with needing a little extra help.
No, I don't want to be a burden, and especially with this new job. She's going to rely on me more than ever.
Emma, she's a grown woman. It's time she took care of herself.
Oh, dear.
Well, this is the house I grew up in, Monica. My mom used these same dishes for every family meal ever since I was in the 8th grade. And my father used to sit in his chair every night and tell us about the cases he had heard that day and the judgments he'd rendered. I always thought he was the smartest man in the world.
He was the one who inspired you to be a judge then?
He inspired. But my mother convinced me. She always made everything seem possible. Did you see that desk? When I was a kid, this was strictly off limits. Mom's territory. She always kept it rolled down and locked. And I finally jimmied it open when I was in high school. And all I discovered inside were bank books and bills. And I remember finding out for the first time how rich we really weren't. And somehow she had managed every month to balance everything. And she was the reason why I always felt so safe.
Mothers are one of God's greatest miracles.
Well, I know mine is. I know people probably think our relationship is pretty unusual, but she's not just my mother, she's my best friend, and I don't know what I'd do without her.
Have you ever tried to find out?
The truth is, it's kind of a scary thought. She's always been there for me. Every time I get up on that bench, I'm holding people's lives in my hands, and there are days when I honestly feel I can't do it. And I look out there and I see her, the one person who always said I could do it, and it keeps me going. Being asked to be on the Supreme Court today. It was an incredible thrill for me, but it wouldn't have meant half as much if she hadn't been there to see it.
Are you going to accept the nomination?
Oh, we'll see. I haven't decided yet.
Why wouldn't you?
It's a big commitment. And they don't allow spectators at the Supreme Court.
All parties, please rise. The Honorable Judge Dolores Chapin presiding.
You may be seated. Counselor, you may proceed. Ms. Miller, are you feeling better today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Please continue, but remember that you're still under oath.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Your Honor, for getting so upset. It's just that, well, he's my father. I can't help but remember all the wonderful things that he did for me when I was too little to take care of myself. And now he can't tie his shoes, take a bath, he can't cook his own meals, and I would just like the chance to do that for him like he did for me when I was too little. I love my brother, but I will never, ever let anyone put my father in a home as long as I can take care of him by myself.
Your Honor, may we approach the bench?
Oh, I think I must have picked the wrong day to drop by. This is a bummer. Let's blow this pop stand. Okay.
Lindy was the one who made me want to fly. But 5 years later, when Amelia Earhart flew across the Atlantic, that was when I knew I could.
Are you all right?
I tell you, Tess, some days it takes just everything I've got to get here. This old gray mare ain't what she used to be.
Come on, baby. I'm taking you to the doctor. Come on. That girl.
Judge Chapin, how can I help you?
Hello, Your Honor. This is Dr. James.
My mother?
Yeah, she came to see me yesterday.
Yesterday? No. She was here yesterday. She seemed fine. What pills? No, I didn't know she was taking any. You're kidding. No, she didn't tell me a thing. Okay, I will. Thank you for letting me know, Doctor.
Everything all right?
That was my mother's doctor. He said she went to see him yesterday. And that she's been taking blood pressure pills for over a year, and he thinks she's forgetting to take them. Doesn't sound like her.
You mean forgetting?
I hate these doctors who look at a calendar and decide it's time for you to start falling apart.
People do grow old, you know.
People do, but not my mother.
This is the Army, Mr. Jones.
Oh, Mr. Jones.
No private rooms or telephones.
No telephones.
You had your breakfast in bed before.
But you won't have it there anymore.
This is the Army, Mr. Green.
Hey, Mr. Green.
We like our barracks nice and clean.
Nice and clean.
You had a housemaid to wash your floor.
But she won't help you out anymore.
Did you take your pills this morning?
Oh, did that old goat Jameson rat on me?
You're taking heart pills and you didn't tell me.
No. Well, yes, sort of. I mentioned him.
No, you didn't.
Well, I referred to him as kind of a new vitamin.
Is this serious?
Well, you see... Absolutely not. It's preventative measures. It's kind of like flossing. Now, kiddo, what is on the docket for today?
The Millers. They're still fighting it out. Today, the brother takes his shot. But I really think I need to hear from the father. I think Dad would have done that, don't you?
Certainly, if he thought of it, yeah. Oh, that poor Mr. Miller. I've got Jenny's report card I want you to sign.
Mm-hmm. And we've got to go to lunch.
See you, kiddo.
Look, my sister talks a good game, but when push comes to shove, she never follows through. She'd like to be the devoted daughter, but she doesn't have a clue what it's going to take. She can't think that far ahead.
Hey, I could think circles around you, you idiot!
That's enough. You will show respect for this court, both of you. Now. We'll take a recess for 15 minutes. Mom, come on. Hey, you fell asleep.
Mom? Who are you? Thanks for the water, kiddo.
You're all right. You know who I am.
I'm fine, Dory. Now I'm going to just go splash some water on my face and fix up this paint job. We'll be back on the flight line before you know it. Then we still have to sign that report card.
I'll stay with her.
Thanks. So tedious in there, I almost fell asleep.
No, you didn't. And Emma didn't fall asleep because she was bored. She's tired, Dory. She's getting older, and she's slowing down.
My mother doesn't know how to slow down.
She's trying her best to make you believe that nothing has changed. But it has. Her body is changing. Her mind is changing. And she hides it from you very well because she saves the best moments and hours of the day for you. But she's not as good at hiding it as she used to be.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you don't. But your mother has something important to do. Much more important than balancing your checkbook and being your cheerleader. And I'm here to tell you, the clock is ticking. And you're going to have to recognize your mama's limitations, and then you're going to have to recognize her potential.
She's 78. What potential?
You see potential in your little girl, don't you?
Jenny has great possibility.
Well, Emma is somebody's little girl, too. God's little girl. And she may be 78, but to the Father, she's still his baby. And he's got plans for her. And Dory, when he looks at her, he sees a lot of potential.
God. Well, that's very sweet, Tess. But I live in the real world, and if you don't mind, I'd like to keep my mother living there, too, if you know what I mean.
It scares you, doesn't it?
What?
Thinking of living without your mama.
Jenny's sleeping with a friend tonight, so, I think I'll burn the midnight oil, see if I can catch up on a few things.
And don't forget, the governor really needs an answer in the morning.
Yeah. Monica, have you spent time alone with my mother? I mean, when I'm not around.
Yes, I have.
How does she act? Does she act old?
Well, she certainly reserves her best moments for her family.
She hid the blood pressure pills from me. You think she's hiding something else?
I think she's doing the best she can. Good night.
Good night.
What are you doing here at this hour?
Mother, I didn't
my
mean
house.
to
This is
scare
my
you.
house. How dare you go through
Mother,
my
I was
things?
worried about you.
Well, that doesn't give you any right to invade my privacy.
Mother, it's a good thing that I did. They are going to turn off your electricity next Thursday. Your telephone bill is 5 weeks late. You paid the same magazine.
I have a system that you don't know anything about because you never bothered to ask and just broke in.
There is no system.
Well,
It's just a mess.
Well, it's my mess.
No, it is mine too. You did not mail in my car insurance. I am driving without coverage.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Mom, what is going on?
If you don't want me to handle your bills, maybe you should get somebody else.
I would. I offered, Mother, but you insisted. Now, all of a sudden, the bills aren't being paid, so what is going on?
I'm getting old.
It's ridiculous. Mother, if you don't want to do it anymore, you
Dory,
just
I
tell
do.
me.
I want to help you in every way I can. But I can't keep up anymore.
Mother, you are not getting
Dory,
old.
listen to me, Dory. I don't remember putting those bills in that drawer. And I forgot completely about that insurance check. I'm not senile. I'm not getting Alzheimer's. I'm slowing down. It takes me twice as much energy to do half the things that I used to do.
Well, that is what I keep telling you. You've got to take better care of yourself. You've got to exercise more. You eat meatloaf all the time. What about the supplements that I bought you?
Dory, honey, please.
Mother, you
listen to
can't
me.
go on like this.
I have no choice.
You have a choice.
I have no choice. The best thing that I can hope for is to just keep in shape for the shape that I am in, and the shape that I'm in, honey, is old, and I'm getting older.
Mama! You're not!
Mama. You only call me Mama when you're frightened.
Listen to me. We are going to fight this, Mama.
No, we're going to accept it. Because the battle against old age only ends one way, sweetheart.
You are giving up. And I am sorry I'm not giving up on you.
Before this, I thought custody cases were for children, and I suppose in a way they are. Because here we are, all talking about who's going to feed me and change my diapers, take me for walks. In my mind, I always think of these as things I want to do for myself. But my body stopped listening a long time ago. Funny thing is, I raised my kids to do the right thing, and here they are. Can't decide what the right thing is. I love my boy, and I know he only wants to do the best thing for me. I love my little girl. I appreciate she's willing to take care of me herself. I love her so much, I can't let her do that. I've lived a good life, and it's time for her to live hers. It's all right, honey. I know that you love me. You don't have to prove it this way. Just make sure you bring the kids by for a visit when you can. It's all that I need now. Truth is, I'm going to a nice, clean place where nobody's heard any of my stories yet. Can't have it much better than that. Now, I don't want to hear another word about this.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. In light of Mr. Miller's testimony, I am going to call for a recess. And perhaps Ms. Miller's attorneys would like to use this time to consider a motion to withdraw.
All rise.
Dory? Are you all right?
I'm fine, Monica. I just needed a moment.
Andrew is here from the governor's office to see
you. Your Honor, very sorry to disturb you. The governor is under a lot of pressure to name his nominee. He's going to need an answer today.
I understand. Tell the governor I'm very grateful for the opportunity, but I'm sorry I have to decline.
I'm sorry, too.
Andrew, do you think you could stall the governor a bit longer?
Monica!
I'll see what I can do.
How dare you? I made my decision and that's final.
You can't make a decision when you're upset.
I make decisions all the time, that's what I do.
It was not a decision. It was a reaction. It was fear.
You're damn right it was fear. I am about to lose my mother, Monica, and this is not the time to take on a new job.
It would kill her to think you gave up this chance because of her.
Well, I would give up anything for her. I listened to that man out there, that poor dear man, and all I could think of was that I would rather die than let someone I love sit in a wheelchair for hours in some disinfected hallway, waiting to be pushed to the community room to watch game shows. I can't let that happen to my mother, and I can't let that happen to me.
What do you mean?
I need her. Nobody can make things all okay the way my mom can. And if that is childish and selfish and dependent, then I'm guilty. Because it just scares me to death, the thought of losing her. Because I can't bear the day when she'll look at me and she won't remember who I am, and that will be the day that I will finally realize that I am truly alone in this world. Will you please just leave me out?
I know you're afraid, Dory. But you haven't lost your mother yet. You've just found out that she's human.
I thought this was the shopping day. What are you doing here?
I'm quitting.
Quitting what?
I can't do it anymore, Tess. I'm getting tired and I'm making mistakes. So, and Dory won't let me go peacefully.
So you're just gonna quit?
I've got all her stuff here. She'll find somebody else to take care of it all. It's time for me to... I don't know.
To what?
Shop for a rocking chair, I guess.
Wait just a minute. Let me see if I got this straight. You can no longer be the manager and the shopper and the babysitter and the therapist and the cook and the mom and the grandma. You just can't do it all like you used to. So you're going to find some place to lay down and wait to die?
Well, what else is there?
I've been waiting for you to ask me that question. Step right this way.
What on earth is going on here?
Have a seat, Your Honor.
This is between my mother and me.
That's not exactly true.
Dory, you told me that you were afraid your mother would leave somehow, someday, and that you'd be all alone. But that's not true. No one is ever alone. You and your mother and Jenny have always had angels watching over you. And you've had 3 angels walking side by side with you these last few days.
What are you trying to say?
I think she's trying to tell us that she is an angel.
I don't believe in angels.
Oh, I do. In fact, I think I even saw one once on a recon mission over Guadalcanal.
That was Andrew.
Andrew? What, the governor's Andrew?
Yes, he remembers you well.
I'm sorry, this is crazy. I can't accept it. What is going on?
Oh, my goodness.
We are angels, sent by God, because He loves you. And we have a message for you.
You know, Tessa, I think, I could have jumped the gun out there in the hall with you. I really don't think I'm ready to die yet.
Well, that's good, because God has more work for you to do.
But you can't do it until the fear is out of the way first.
I have never been afraid of anything.
I've always been afraid of everything.
Your mama showed you how to be strong, and now's the time to show her that you can.
God doesn't just want you to be as good as your father, Dory. He wants you to surpass him. And you can. Parents are God's gift, but they're not a replacement for God. God will never die. He'll never leave you alone. He is life itself, and He will never grow old.
I never thought much about God. It's hard to believe He thinks that much about me. Somehow I know it's true. So then, what do we do?
God wants you to give up the fear of being alone, of growing old, the fear of losing each other.
Fear is a thief. It steals all your todays by making you dread tomorrow. But today is all you have. It's all anyone has. And there's no reason to worry about tomorrow. God is already there.
You know, I was so scared of losing you. And I thought that if this is how it feels, for you to be gone for just one day, how will I go on when it's forever?
You'll just go on, honey. You'll just go on because you have to.
I know. But I am going to miss you so very much. And I won't be anybody's baby anymore.
You'll always be my baby.
There's one more item of business on the agenda.
Oh, can it wait?
No, it cannot. God has a mission for you, Emma.
God wants me to do something.
There's a new millennium approaching, Emma. And the next 1,000 years could be peaceful ones if the next generations can learn the lessons that you and others have learned from the wars of this century. But there are very few voices left to tell the story. Yours is one of them. And God has called you to lift your voice.
Okay, kiddo, we're set to take off. Come on, tigerettes. Let's get this show on the road. Oh, isn't this wonderful? I haven't seen these girls in years. Esther is going to be kind of a problem, though. She wants to bring her boyfriend.
Grandma and her friends are going to come to my school first, and there's going to be a big assembly and everything.
Well, that's the least we can do. Jenny's the one that brought this gang together in the first place on the internet.
Dory, you're going to be late.
Yeah, right. Well, not a good idea to be late on my first day. Bye, baby.
Okay.
I'll see you tonight.
Okay.
This is as far as I go.
All right, just one more time. You've got your socks, the extra sweater, your traveler's checks, the emergency phone numbers.
I am going to be just fine.
I want you to know how proud I am of you. And I think Daddy would have been proud of you too, Mom.
He is. I have them on the highest authority.
I love you, Mom.
And I love you forever and ever.
Yeah. Go get him, girl.
I've been seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In the small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut trees, the wishes.
Madam Justice?
Monica said you were the angel of death.
Yes. And you know what died today? Fear.
I made you some meatloaf for the trip.
This is supposed to be a pleasant experience. No, baby. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, kiddos.